Hey, beautiful people. How y'all doing today?
How you doing?
Excellent. How you doing?
I'm good. I was fighting with my eyelashes as I always do right before a show.
You
Um,
fighting with the tarantulas?
yes, child. I was like, "What the heck? Y'all can't leave yet? I didn't ask you to." So there's that. How's your weekend? How's everybody doing? Let's see. I went on and added the StreamYard link to those who want to ask us questions. So let's just we're doing a little bit of maintenance and housekeeping, as I call it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Today
Y'all
we're talking
ready?
about air signs, man. We doing air signs.
Yes. Lord, them Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius.
Yeah. Problematic 3.
Well, we gotta be problematic, man. Come on now.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta live in it, sit in it, just understand who you are. Just do that.
Oh, but difficulty?
Don't mince no words. That's what I say. Don't mince no words.
All right, Sag.
That's right. All day, every day. On Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
So is this lighting better?
Yeah, you're good. I think once you get started, because you're gonna come on into the camera a little bit more once you get started. So we're good. We can at least hear you well.
Well, that's good. Hearing is always believing.
Yes. So guys, like we talked about, y'all know we have to act silly for a minute. But today, oh, wrong one. Whoop. Okay, that one. So we're actually talking today about air signs. And let me go ahead and pull this up. These are the air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, as stated by Jean. And just wanted to point out there are three major characteristics that all air signs will have. So it doesn't matter which one you are, but usually these are things when we're talking about sex zodiac and these signs, these are the things that stick out the most about them. So, and please, y'all don't tell me about that's not who you are. That's fine. It's cool because you guess what? In the rest of your chart, there may be some other things that keep you from being that way. So calm down. These are generalizations. We hadn't read your entire natal chart. Okay. Thanks. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the air signs. They are adventurous people, meaning that they're willing to try things. You know, they like to be very adventurous in the bedroom. They, will be the ones that you look to, try some of everything, including, toys and, other things we'll get into when it comes to those individual signs. They are happiest when they have an intellectual connection with their partner. So a lot of air signs don't necessarily venture out into having a whole lot of casual relationships. If you notice, they need to connect. So it's very important for them to have a very something that's a little bit more than surface level a relationship in order to have a good sexual experience with you. Also, they're hard to read sometimes because, even though they may say one thing, they may do something else. And a lot of times, especially when you're talking about the Libras, they tend to hide a lot of their feelings, or they usually overthink it a lot of times when you're talking about, feelings and everything, because that's just what they do. And we'll talk about each of these generally, but is there anything that is general situation?
Yeah, it's called complexity.
Is it though?
Listen now. Don't start.
I'm just saying, isn't that's when they come
Okay,
being
yes, that
difficult.
was a generalization.
You say complexity, I call it being difficult. So
Tomato, tomato.
yeah, okay, fine. Whatever. So you ready to go into the individuals?
Let's go. Gemini first.
All right.
My sign, my sign. All right. So, all right. So Geminis are all about the mouths and tongue. So they love French kissing and can spend all day making out. They also love giving and receiving oral sex. Okay. In fact, Geminis love anything to do with the mouth and tongue. So go ahead and try nipple play, neck kissing, and rimming. Hey. My. Gemini men and women, born between May 21st and June 21st, are known for having a way with words. And this is just one of their stellar personality traits that carries over to the bedroom. Many born under this sign, uh, many born under this most oral of all zodiac signs, that's what I was trying to say, claims that they can literally be talked to orgasm. Wow. Or that they can chat their partners to nirvana.
Interesting.
Geminis are dirty talkers and have been known to elevate talking dirty to an art form. They're so good at it that it's difficult for their partners to compete. We just enjoy you participating. That's it. Yeah, just participate. You ain't got to be, you got to be prolific with it. Just be nasty. We like that better. All right, so Geminis are also highly skilled in oral sex. I know I said that before. They're so fantastic at it that you might think that they have two tongues. My.
Well, they got two personalities, so why not have two tongues?
Why not? Why not? Won't you try? Won't you try? All right, in a sense, they do. Not only are Geminis artful at cunnilingus and or fellatio, but they also are supremely enjoy the act. So much so that they may actually prefer giving head a bit more than they enjoy getting it.
Mm.
Very true. Very true. Uh,
Interesting. Yet once again,
yes, Lord. Hey, complexity.
difficult, but okay.
Whatever. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Carry on.
Right. Believe it or not, they get off on you getting off almost as much as you do. So their lovemaking is varied, energetic, and creative. They are often comfortable and confident in threesomes, and role-playing games can be extremely fulfilling with the Gemini since they are imaginative and fun-loving. On
Hmm.
you, Doc.
Oh, it's my turn.
That's what that meant.
Oh, okay. Well, fine.
On you.
So let's talk a little bit about this particular position that we're looking at with Gemini. Also, let's just
My
talk a
mind.
little bit about just to kind of follow up on some of the other things that you talked about. Gemini is one of the mutable signs, and mutable signs basically means they're able to um, just kind of
They're
they
chameleons.
end of the season, but they also have no problem with doing what they need to do in order to make things work. In other words, so that's a mutable sign for you. The other thing about Gemini in particular, like you said, they enjoy the dirty talk, so that's something that could do with them. They like the intimacy of also sharing thoughts through pillow talk as well. Some of the other things that they enjoy is being seduced. They're like, listen here, seduce me, please, please, please seduce me right now. Like they love seduction, and it's an art form to them, but it's also what gets their motors running. And then also they believe in a lot of physical touch. So if you're talking about an air sign that they love these things, they like talking, they like doing these, they like to be open, and again, threesomes is one of the things that they're very open to because they are I would say they're the non-judgmental sexual beings of the zodiac, so they'll try anything like a threesome, if that means pleasing their partner. So you got to just look at those things. But one of the things that we talk about again when you're talking about air signs is that adventurous part. So this particular position, I'm gonna bring it up right here. This particular position is called the necklace of Venus, and as you see, is one that you really can get, pretty vocal. You can really, can kind of get each other going. This
Yes,
is
Lord.
done by standing up, like either this partner is sitting on a countertop or sitting on the edge of the bed. Um, Hood of a car, a sink, whatever. You could be sitting on the patio, on the deck, wherever you're gonna be sitting. It's a sitting, reclining position. So, just think of anything. Like if you going out on a walk, you probably doing all these things, with this partner. She said, "How long?
Word.
What I missed? We just started talking about Gemini, so we have the other two. So you just said you right on time. So Gemini's also." Again, this is a position where you can kind of balance the control of who's in control and who's not. So the giving partner is basically positioning themselves between those legs there because they're going to use those legs as handles, kind of, right? And
Yes, Lord.
those ankles
Reel you in.
be wrapped around the partner's neck. And so I think we're going to lose my partner in just a minute because he's about to pass out on us. And so this is what is really good. The way that this positioning works is so good that the person that's leaned back, the receiver could actually just angle their legs or position themselves or kind of push up a little bit, and that changes where the penetration happens. So you may have shallow penetration in one set, and then at some point you move those legs up and you kind of widen those legs and arch your hip or arch your back and push those hips
All
forward.
right.
You get a different type of penetration happening. But this is one of those things that really stimulates Geminis because they really like, first of all, the switch up. They like the adventure. They like the energy. They like anything that kind of helps them to be able to communicate how much they like you, how much they enjoy this connection and everything. And again, you said that they were ruled by Mercury, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
so that is the planet of communication. So this
Yep.
allows people to be more communicative. They're going to try, they may actually try using some of those remote toys to kind of get things going because they like technology. And then they also like to move. So they're not going to stick in one position at a time, but they'll do some variations of things. But this one represents them well. Let me say it that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So just to add to what you said, though, huge thing for Geminis is what you said. Our main our ruling planet is Mercury, so communication, not
Yeah.
only from a verbal standpoint, but
Hmm.
like you also communicate with your body.
Hmm.
You know, what I mean? And then so it's like we look to um, you to show us. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean, you could also tell us. We enjoy that, but
Yeah.
like showing us with your body, your body is communication as well. So man, when you make that connection and you show with your body as well as you incorporate those words, it's like
Yeah.
man, you'll have that emoji with the face like and the brain blown.
Right.
That's how you have a Gemini, have them wide open.
So shit happening. Yeah. And that's the thing with Geminis. A lot of times, like what people really have to understand is, again, all of that communication, whether it's verbal or nonverbal, is very important in how to really communicate with them about, sexual things, about sexuality, or really how to get under that Gemini skin so you can get the best out of them.
Hmm. Another thing I forgot to mention is that we love things like, if you send us pictures and videos and shit like
Yeah.
that, that's form of communication.
Right.
You text. Sexting is a big thing.
Hmm.
You know, just
Yeah.
anything that kind of gets the mind going in that direction. Anything that stimulates, the mental capacity is like.
Yeah.
So when you actually connect, it's like.
So that
Yeah,
over there, that over there.
yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right. You ready for the next one?
Oh yeah. Next
Let's,
on the docket is Libra.
yes, Libra. Let's talk about
All right. All right. So this sign is extremely amorous and erotic. They are quietly seductive in and out of the bedroom. Just one look from a Libra is usually enough to send even the most stony hearted Scorpio into a tailspin. They are givers, which is also good news for their mates. With a Libra lover, you will also have a tremendously creative sex partner. They like to catch you off guard, so expect the unexpected. Afternoon delights are a favorite of theirs, and so is waking up their bae in the middle of the night with an oral surprise. Hi. Uh, they are very orally oriented, so Libras don't usually have a problem telling you exactly what they want and need in bed. Uh, these scales weigh either way or the other. Either they're hopeless romantics or it's all about sex.
it.
Your job is finding out which side you're betting.
What?
Lead, well, ask questions. You might find out a little bit there. Libra's interest in sex usually starts early because relationships are of such major significance to these born under this sign. Many Librans find themselves a boyfriend or girlfriend at an early age. So they be young. Hey, this is my boyfriend. Fool, you only 8 years old. You ain't got no boyfriend. They rarely are without a significant other, as a single Libran rarely feels complete. They're always searching for their other half to balance them out. It's not necessarily the physical act of sex that appeals most to these people, though. As an air sign, a strong mental connection, as we said before, air
Mm.
signs are about mental. And let me say this real quick. I should have said. So, if anyone is interested in tarot cards, I know that you are, Heather. Um, so, if you were to associate air signs with a tarot card or tarot, what do you say? With a tarot card, it would be the swords. The
Mhm.
swords are about the mind.
Mine.
Right. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
Yeah. As an air sign, a strong mental connection and good communication in a romantic relationship is equally, if not more, important than sexual desire for Libra. And I would say that's pretty much the same for all air signs.
Yeah.
What a Libran is looking for is not just a lover, but someone who will also be their closest friend. Yeah. Um, so sexually, they aim to provide full satisfaction and will expect the same in return. So, you get yours, I get mine. Gotta have a
Mm-hmm.
balance. Them scales again. They're happy to be either on the giving or receiving end of sex. All that matters is that things are fair and equal. Coarseness and aggression is a big turn off, though. Libra isn't a sign that likes to play rough. On you, Doc.
It's my turn.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Hey, let's talk about these doggone Libras. Let me tell y'all, uh, an unbalanced Libra is a terrible thing to be. So here's the thing: a Libra again is a cardinal sign, and cardinal signs are what they call the initiators of the zodiac. So they'll be the beginning of every season. So that's where every element starts with these particular signs. So that's Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn as well. All of those are the beginning. Those are the first four, pretty much the first four of their season. So when you're thinking about cardinal signs, and things of that nature. Um, what typically are you looking for? Again, they're the take charge ones. They want to, make sure that they are pretty much in charge. Romance is very important to a Libra. They, in fact, and you've said this already, that they believe in romance more than anything. Like they will try to mimic a movie, a romantic movie or whatever, because they've already played out the romantic scene in their mind. So if you're looking for somebody that's super romantic, a Libra is probably where you need to be. Also, what's important again is the emotional connection. You just talked about that. Like they believe in, relationship over situationship. So you're looking for somebody to be, in it with you, then it's probably a Libra. But on the other side, like you said, when they go through their whole phase, they really go through that whole phase. So they commit to it. But also, what's good about Libras and everything is that they don't mind taking charge. Like they know, they basically have in their minds what they want to do and how they want to end up. And so they're the ones that are going to be the ones that just really take charge in a relationship, or take charge, especially in the bedroom. They'll want to make sure that, again, that you are being pleased as well as them being pleased. So they believe in, being slow and methodical when you're talking to and about a Libra, as far as like how to do things. They like to kind of start slow, and then they'll maybe pause, and then they may speed it back up, and then they may, bring it back down, because they like that variation as well. They want to make sure that when they're reading you and your body, that they're getting, all of the information to make it a very successful session. So you won't see them, unless they're going through their whole phase, you won't see them doing too many things that are not what you like, and they will be able to be adaptable, as far as that's concerned, so that the ultimate outcome is for you to be, in a really good place with them. So, Libras, they just believe in those types of things. So let's talk a little bit about this position that we got here. This one's
Oh,
called
yeah.
rock. Again, it's another variation on missionary. So what I find interesting about this one in particular is, again, this is all about control. Libra is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of, love and beauty and everything. And we know that the thing about Libras is they like to be socialized. They like a lot of eye contact. They like flirting, romance. They like to be very balanced, though. But they want to make sure that, when they're in this position, that they're able to give you everything you need sexually. So it's important for them to make sure that their partners are able to orgasm. So what you're looking here, again, this is missionary, but this is a little bit more face-to-face missionary. So it's not too much of the, as I call, the push-up missionary, but this is very much very much more intimate, where the receiver is laying back and the partner is directly over them. You're going to go a little bit more forward than the traditional, again, because you want to make sure you're face to face, right? You're giving eye contact. You're going to make sure those hips are tilted in a way that you receive a little bit more than the giver. And what you're going to do is create this this is why they call it the soft rock, because what it does is it causes a rocking motion instead of like the up and down and everything. So you're going to make sure those hips are wide set, just a little bit wider set than normal, and then also that you are tilting up, so that what happens is with the motion, it causes almost like a rocking chair motion. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring a good amount of pleasure between you and your partner. It's going to make sure that you are, getting the romantic part, because you are having this eye contact happening, and it's going to make sure that you guys are really connecting on that emotional level. And here's the thing, eye contact is very important because it helps to promote the secretion of the bonding hormone oxytocin. So that's going to help you guys become, even more deeply connected because of that eye contact. And that's why this is really important for the Libra.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Anything to add to that?
Yeah. So in that position, I would imagine that what the way the bodies are connecting is a lot more clitoral stimulation as well, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. So what you're looking at, again, we talked about this last week with the coital alignment technique. When you're talking about being bone to bone, that just automatically puts that clitoris in the way of having enough friction for it to be stimulated. And usually, again, when you're talking about clitorises, they need external stimulation in order to reach full arousal and full orgasm. So when you're talking about that position, again, that rocking motion, a lot of times, and I say this a lot of times, a lot of when you talk to men folk, guys, they like the up and down, and the up and down. So, y'all got like it like this, but the problem is that doesn't do very much for the clitoris. So when you have that rocking motion where you're actually getting that bone to touch that other bone, and you're going back and forth and causing that friction to happen, that's really good for the G spot. And that's also good for the clitoris, because that rocking motion causes friction. It causes that bone to touch. It causes that clitoris to expand, and it causes it to have a lot of circulation and arousal, because you got that rocking going. And eventually what ends up happening is you're just going to go ahead and work your way into a good orgasm, because of the amount of friction that happens when you're in that position. So just think about it. Regular missionary is good, but if you just kind of come down a couple of degrees and you really get face to face and bone to bone, that's going to make all the difference in what type of an orgasm you're going to have, or if you're going to have one at all.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, in essence, you're just saying like that. That's the physical way of creating a deeper connection. Putting them bodies together like two pieces of bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
In the middle. Make sure you lube it in the middle.
A little bit in the middle too. A little cream in that coffee. Yeah.
That's all we want to do. You want to just make sure it's good.
There we go. I mean, it's 2021. Ain't nobody having shouldn't nobody be having boring sex out there nowadays.
No.
Time to elevate, man. Time to elevate.
No.
What you said.
We're not doing that today.
No boring sex for me ever.
Yes.
Man.
You ready? Yeah.
I was going to say that just again, the communication, that's that position and the closeness that it creates is a form of communication, like we just talked about with Gemini. Yeah. And communication and closeness is a big thing for air signs.
Yeah.
Journal.
It is. They got to be touching. They have to communicate. They must touch each other and look at your eye and see what's going on.
And kiss. We like to kiss too. We're very orally oriented.
This is the thing.
This is the thing. Yeah. Yes, the lips and the tongue and all the nibbling and things like that.
All of the body. We just touch all of it.
Yeah, baby. And the sweating is even better.
Yes. You know what? Get us off of here. But anyway,
I'm just
let's
getting
go on
started.
ahead and get our butts over here talking about Aquarius.
Okay. You
There you go.
ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. All right. So Aquarius, as you said, although they may appear cool and nonplussed in bed, Aquarians are generally adept lovers and are extremely open-minded. They hold passion deep inside and try their best to contain their excitement, which they fear might makes them appear vulnerable. They don't like to be vulnerable. Being sexual in their eyes is akin to losing control. I don't know why they don't like losing control. I mean, losing control is all you need to do. Just lose control.
Because they stubborn.
Stubborn as hell. All right. Uh, all right. They are drawn to phone and cybersex because of the pretense of that they're creating a safe distance both for themselves and from their messy passion. So they're basically afraid of the emotions. Getting
Mm,
emotional for them feels like they're losing control.
they gonna be
So yeah, they need a hug or maybe a long distance hug.
yeah. They're
There
gonna
you
be
go. All right. So since Aquarians are very heady, the idea of detachment is a huge turn on for them. So basically, it's like, I like you, but I'll never tell you that shit.
write it down.
All right. I'm going to write it down and keep it to myself. Not even going to give it to you. I like you.
Myself.
You're back. All right. So, as the symbol of the new age of Aquarius, this sign takes a progressive approach to sex. But, contrary to popular belief, it's not necessarily into the concept of free love. Certainly, it believes in the importance of independence within sexual relationships and the right of each individual to a personal life of their own. But Aquarius is more libidinous and less faithful than other star signs, unless, of course, it gets bored. Then they do whatever the fuck they want to
Right.
do. All right. Monotony, routine, and mindless tradition always brings out the inborn rebel in Aquarius. Understandable, because they get bored as a motherfucker.
Does.
Um,
Does.
ruled by Uranus, the planet of experimentation, this sign needs a lot of variety in its sex life with the stimulation of ongoing excitement and the chance to try out new things. This doesn't have to mean it wants to jump into bed with everybody, though. Monogamy isn't a problem for Aquarius. As a fixed sign, sexually, it can often be very loyal. As Aquarius is turned on by that which is new and different, sexual relationships with this star sign do, however, need to be constantly fresh and alive. So you might want to try that new wig often, that new little outfit you saw over there. Go ahead and get that.
The
And
sweet.
come out with there you go. Come out with the ass out chaps.
There you go. Hey, ain't no time like the present.
I'm saying. All right, to avoid its love affairs getting stale and uninteresting, it prefers to ring the changes, and it is often happier in a semi detached setup, which involves spending some time apart.
Mm.
Smother love is a kiss of death to Aquarius's relationships, while absence often makes its hearts grow fonder. Sexually, it's almost impossible to shock an Aquarian. Really.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, if you say so. Strongly attracted to unconventionality, Aquarians prefer sexual partners who differ in some way from the norm, and the more out of the ordinary, the better. Open minded, tolerant, and undemanding, Aquarius makes a great sexual partner and friend, but they can also be emotionally detached and disdainful of sentimentality. They're not very comfortable about expressing their affection.
It's my turn.
It's your turn.
Okay, so let me tell y'all a little bit about the Aquarius.
Y'all see that position there? My lord.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a minute. But let me tell you about Aquarius. See, they are. I feel like Aquarius a lot of times a very misunderstood sign because Aquarius seem like it should be a water sign because you see aqua, but it's an air sign. So a lot of times people always think that an Aquarius should be, is a water sign. Absolutely not. Whatever. Blah blah blah. But the other thing about the Aquarius, again, you talked about it being a fixed sign, and fixed signs are very much set in their ways. They are, you might as well call them stubborn. They feel like, they should and will do whatever it is that works for them, and you just get with the program. That's where a lot of that's what it down for. They are sensitive, but don't want nobody to know they sensitive.
Right.
You know what? I ain't got this. But the other thing is they will study you. So that's why, when they are in a sexual experience with you, they feel like it's an educational experience. They're gonna make sure that they learn what it is that works for you, but they're not necessarily going to tell you that that's what they're doing, but that's what they're going to do. Foreplay is very important because again, it is a learning experience, but it's also a way for them to kind of keep charge and take control. So you'll see that an Aquarius absolutely loves to actually be the giver when it comes to oral sex, but of course, receiving is welcome. But good foreplay is definitely what they need in order to feel like they are, doing everything in control, all this those types of things. The other thing about an Aquarius is that they think that, pretty much sex in different positions are mysterious. And so they're going to try to figure out what is the driving force behind this, why do you like this so much, and how can you please, and I'm going to please you in this particular way because I see it works for you. And so that's how an Aquarius mind works. So talking specifically about this position, let's talk about this. This is called the Twisted Amazon. I don't know why they call it the Twisted Amazon, but we'll keep talking about it. Well, they look a little twisted there. Again, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn, which is very interesting because you're talking about, change, revolution, being free spirit, being eccentric, being innovative, all those things that come. And then also they're unconventional. So you're talking about, when they've decided they're going to do something, they set their mind to it, they're going to do it. If you say, hey, I want to swing from this chandelier and I want to swing from it in a counterclockwise position while I am holding a whatever, a doll in between my feet, they're going to figure out how to make it happen because they enjoy trying to figure out how to make you excited about things. So you're talking about, again, they like high tech. They would be the ones that would buy, the $300, $400, sex toys. They'll be the ones that be okay with, being in a situationship. They'll be the ones that's okay with having a hall pass. They'll be the ones that, just really looking for that bit of adventure, but they have to be the ones to bring it to you. And that's what's different between an Aquarius and everybody else. It has to be their idea because they are so stuck and set. They don't want anyone telling them how to do stuff. They just want to be the one bringing the ideas. So anyway, this position here, Twisted Amazon, the way that it works is that you're going to be the giving partner, right? So the giving partner is the one laying on their backs. If you can just kind of imagine this. And then the receiving partner is pretty much on the side, kind of squatting or mounting. Weird. I know this looks like a lot of work. And then what you're doing is kind of being on one side or the other. And so you're going to move that back leg back there. If you see that receiving partner there, kind of, braces themselves with that back leg and kind of uses that front leg as kind of a brace. And then way you can kind of have a more intense penetration. This works for an Aquarius because they just like trying things over and over again. You can figure out what kind of works for you. You can kind of decide that, you can bounce a little bit. You can grind a little bit with this position. The giving partner can use their other leg to kind of support the receiving partner in this position. But it's just another fun and creative way to just kind of come together and just try something different. And of course, it's always a variation. This is pretty much a variation on reverse cowgirl.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought something that that you read that made it really interesting is that it's
Mhm.
ruled by dual planets. It's ruled
Yeah.
by Saturn and Uranus.
Yeah.
Uranus is the planet of experimentation, but
Mhm.
Saturn is the planet of restriction. So that's just a really interesting combination there. Like, you ever thought about that?
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why I say Aquarius is all over the place because you're Aquarius, you're an air sign, but it sounds like you should be a water sign. Like it's a lot
What you
going on.
said.
They just be like, okay, just tell me where to show up. And that's what they do. Um,
Right, exactly.
but that's the thing. Like if you find an Aquarius that's pretty much open to interpreting things, they're going to set their minds to doing something and they're going to at least give it the old college try. It just has to be presented in a way that is palatable for them. If
Right.
that makes sense to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, and so pretty much like, all of the air signs, they love experimentation, they love trying new things. We want to keep it interesting because air signs kind of get bored quickly. The mind hops.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
monkey mind mentality. The mind hops all over the place at all times. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that's just how they work. Their minds kind of go all over the place. They need to be able to ground themselves in order to make sure that they are having an enjoyable experience. But at the same time,
They want
they
to be up there in the
talk
heights.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is an Aquarius for you.
Oh yeah. You never know what the hell you gonna get from them. And then like I think I did say so. Yeah. So they have that very mentality, and I think this may be where Saturn comes in. They have
Hmm.
the desire to experiment, try different things,
Hmm.
communicate with their body, communicate with their lips, and things like that. But
Hmm.
the restriction part,
Yeah.
they don't like to tell you.
Yeah. It's like they'll color outside of the lines, but not necessarily on the whole page.
There you go. Exactly. It's like they still had this little parameter.
Yeah. Yeah, like they want to do it and you like a lot of times it's like, man, I have a list of 45 items I want to be able to accomplish and they may only, actually act out maybe, 10% of that because, in their minds they have the what ifs going on. They have the, ain't nobody checking for that kind of going on. They have the, they're persistent but not really when it comes to
Right.
certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Very interesting. Air signs are. I mean, and it's funny. I think we talked about this before on the side, but like
Yeah.
how you have each element, and
Mhm.
there is a little portion of each element in each sign. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
you still have that bleed over, from element to element and sign to sign. So it's really creative and really interesting to
Yeah.
me. It always has been.
And then also, especially when you look at your placements, when you're talking about in your natal chart, if you're balanced with all those signs, then you'll see that within yourself, you'll have a little bit of each of those signs
Right.
of those elements that show up in your personality. But if you are
Right.
heavy, like say if your sun sign is one thing, but in your natal chart, you're heavy on another element, those
Right.
will peep up, especially in that Mars and Venus. It'll just,
Yeah.
kind of take over. Like, oh no, we here. You know, I was looking
Right.
at someone's chart today, and I think in Mars and Venus, he's Taurus, and I'm like,
Oh
oh,
wow.
okay,
Earthy.
yeah, but and then the rising is like, I think the rising is Leo, and I was like,
Oh, fire, right.
life
So
happening.
earthy and fiery.
Yeah, like earthy and fiery. Got a Capricorn moon, like whoa,
Right. Oh
hello.
yeah.
So
That's all those things.
yeah, so when you looking at stuff like that, a lot of times people say, well, this doesn't really represent me. But I always tell people, we're talking just a little bit about what's going on in your sun
Sun
sign,
sign.
but you definitely need to pull your natal chart or we'll do it for you. Call us. We'll have a show on that later. And we'll, and you can kind of get a better overview of who you are and especially how you show up sexually.
Yeah. So I wanted to touch on that real quick. So,
Okay.
so as it pertains to like your Mars and Venus sign,
Mhm.
so for women, the sign that tells you about how you love is in
Mm,
your Venus.
right.
And as it pertains to women, what they're attracted to in a partner is in their Mars,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa for men. So it's like a man, his Mars sign is what he looks for, and his Venus sign is how he loves.
Right.
So I always thought that was really interesting,
Mm.
especially as of late.
And that's why I say it's very interesting. If you really took the time, if you guys really took the time with us, off off screen, where we could really
Awkward.
have a good in-depth conversation regarding this, you guys will see that it's so complex. This is just really like the sprinkles on top. We're not even anywhere into the depths of what
Nope.
astrology and zodiac signs really could mean for you sexually or just throughout your entire life. So, we just give y'all a little and when y'all ready, later on we're actually exploring doing some offline items that we'll invite you guys to, so you guys look out for that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to touch on that, like your sun sign is basically like the representation of your ego,
Mm-hmm.
and how you present yourself to the world. But like the signs that come under that show you the depth of yourself, the layers, you
Yeah.
know. I love because my kids used to love Shrek, and something that Shrek said, he was like, "I'm an onion. I'm an onion. Onions have layers."
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And
So
that's
we
like you definitely have to um realize that everybody has a little bit of an onion in there. You may be
yeah.
garlic, you may be a shallot, but you still got
You may be a green onion. You ain't one of them purple ones that got the layers of stuff.
yeah, you might be one of them Vidalias out here. So, you never know. You never know.
Love it.
So anything
Yeah.
else from you?
That's everything from me so
Okay.
far. Anybody got any questions or anything? No
It ain't
questions.
no question. Well, I tell you guys what, again, like we always say, if you have any questions, you want to ask us anything, you can always pop those questions into the comment section anywhere here. We always ask you guys to go ahead and go to our YouTube pages, Premier Fitness. I always forget the last digits. Oh, 2 1
Uh, 0210 on YouTube.
YouTube, and then also follow Heather's Passion Academy on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We really appreciate you guys for coming out with us on Moist Mondays. Hopefully, y'all bring a friend next week. The next week is actually going to be the last of the sex, fitness, and zodiac series. We'll be doing the water sign. So all you
Oh,
watery people out there,
all you Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpios.
all you water folk. Uh, y'all come out and listen to us, and oh, excuse me, and give us your input on how you guys feel like this relates to you. If you feel like it resonates with you, hopefully it does. If not, then our feelings ain't hurt. We just here to share a little information with you guys.
Right.
If nothing else, we will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah.
I was just thinking we could maybe do um, a show about natal charts. Maybe go into, or at least the love aspect of it. I feel
Okay.
like that is kind of in line with what
Yeah.
we've been discussing lately.
Let's develop that. We'll talk about that offline then.
No doubt, no
So
doubt.
y'all look
Loving
out
that.
for that. We're gonna actually take a little break. After no, we're not doing a break because it's we got to do the lesson. Never mind. We'll see y'all.
Right. Gotta do the water signs.
Yeah. So we gotta actually just thank y'all again for joining us. Let me do this like this. We thank y'all for joining us, and we just want to see y'all next week. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Y'all come back on Heather's Passion Academy. We're doing a review crew at 8:30. So anyway, we'll see y'all later.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Peace and love.